Good afternoon and welcome back to Cooking Kosher. My kids have been saying how much they miss eating out at restaurants lately, and with Cooking Kosher, we could go anywhere in the world. So for the next few episodes, we're going to be sampling the cuisine of different parts of the world. Starting today with India, we're going to be making Chicken Tikka Masala. Check it out. This is everything you're going to need for this amazing, delicious curry recipe. So obviously we have our chicken here. We have 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And we have some rice. We're going to be making some basmati rice, which is delicious and fluffy and light. When you're making a curry, it's all about the spices. And as you could see around the table, there are tons of spices here. You could elect to use a curry powder like this, which is a mix of spices, or you can go the Cooking Kosher way and really combine them yourself. You'll see here we have paprika, Garam Masala, we have some cumin over there, some coriander, turmeric, some cayenne pepper, and we have some chili powder up in the front here. Salt and pepper, we have some tomato product in the back. I have some tomato sauce and some tomato paste, some oil, coconut milk, which we're going to use to marinate our chicken. If you look online, a lot of the recipes will use buttermilk or butter. This is Cooking Kosher, so we're going parv with coconut milk. And then we have some onions, some garlic, some ginger. We're going to chop it all up, put it together in our pot, garnish with some parsley or coriander, and you'll see this comes together really quick. First step, we need to marinate our chicken. So I'm just going to sharpen up my blade a little bit. We're going to cut our chicken into little chunks. Cut it into about 1-inch cubes, bite size, depends on how big your mouth is. This recipe is actually surprisingly easy because once you get the chicken cubed up, it's really all about the spice mixture, which we have right here. But once you get the spice mixture correct, this really cooks itself. Just some onions, some garlic, some ginger, and some chicken. Great. Let's get it in the bowl. As you can see now, we have a nice bowl of cubed chicken. Now we're going to mix in our spices. I'm going to wash my hands first. Okay, now our chicken's in the bowl. We have our plate of spices. You see masala spice and coriander, cumin, and some chili powder and cayenne, just like we went over. I need a little tiny hand to mix these up. So anyone have a little tiny hand? Oh, perfect. Give me this hand and just mix those up. Mix them all up on the plate. Oh, you could really draw different designs and everything like that. Try and combine the spices evenly before you put them in the chicken. Otherwise, it'll be very hard to get them combined evenly. Okay, that's looking like a nice curry powder. Excellent. Now that we have our curry powder, we're going to put a little bit of vegetable oil in our chicken. And we're going to start to marinate our chicken. Now, we have coconut milk. A lot of the recipes you'll see online will marinate this with milk or buttermilk or butter. Coconut milk is parv, and it's got a great flavor, and a lot of curries call for coconut milk. So I'm just going to pop this top here. We're going to take the chicken, and we're going to put in about half of our coconut milk. Good, and we're going to save the other half for our curry. We cut to a little bit of a closer shot so you could see Serena mixing this up. Go ahead, Serena. Mix it up in the coconut milk. Just going to use her hands and just get in there. Oh, how does it feel?
Oh, it feels very, creamy.
Okay, now Serena, we're going to take our spices and just sprinkle them into our marinade. This is a very important step because this gets the flavors deep into the chicken. Now, Serena, mix that in there. Now, the fingers are really the best utensil here because you get it really even. Now, we're going to cover this with some saran wrap or some sticky wrap. And we're going to put this in the fridge. You could let it go for an hour or 2 hours, or better yet, even overnight. Those flavors will go into your chicken and it'll make it even more juicy. Let's put it in the fridge. Next step, we're going to wash our rice. Let's just take our 1 cup measure here, pour some rice in. We're going to do about 1.5 cups of rice for this much chicken. There's 1.5. And just run some cold water on it. And we'll wash it like this 2 or 3 times, make sure it's really clean before we cook it. Next up, let's chop our onions. Take off the bottom and the top. Cut it straight down the middle. Almost forgot to put my paper towel here for our garbage pile. Just chop our onion into thin chunks. We're using 2 onions for this recipe. Try and make your onion pieces as even as you can. It doesn't matter if they're big or small, but they just all need to be about the same size. Let's put our onions in a bowl and onto our ginger and garlic. Here's the ginger. We're just going to cut off the external peel. This is a nice chunk of ginger, but it really is a big part of that flavor when you're making an Indian curry. You need to make sure you get some fresh ginger. You could use powdered ginger as well, that you just get in a jar, but that would be wrong. Some people say to grate this ginger, which actually would be great, but I don't have a grater, so I'm going to slice it. I'm going to chop it up really fine. Chop strips. That smell is unbelievable. And then we're just going to do the rock and chop. Serena, you want a rock and chop?
Sure.
Come. And when you're letting your kids use big knives, you got to teach them to keep their fingers up like this. Play it very, very safe. Scrape it back into a pile. See, Serena has excellent technique. She's really keeping those fingers away. And you want to mince this up really well. So our ginger is now beautifully minced by our beautiful assistant.
Thank you.
And let's transfer that to a bowl. Okay, peel it up.
Okay.
Give it one last mince. Keep those fingers flat on top so you're totally safe. All right, Serena, I think we're good. Let's go over to the pan and we'll get it started. Okay, here we are at the stove with our beautiful Le Creuset Dutch oven. We got to thank Patrick O'Hearn again for this donation to the cooking show. And on the back burner, we have a little pan with our basmati rice and some water and some olive oil. Joshie, if you could just get the cover of that pan, that would be great.
Isn't this hot and you touched it?
Yeah, why don't you try and touch it?
Ow.
That's called asbestos hands from cooking for a long time. All right, Joshie brought me the lid for this pot. We're just going to cover this. And we're going to wait for that to come to a boil, and we'll boil our rice for about 15 minutes. This is not a recipe on making rice, so if you want to learn how to make rice, we'll do that in another recipe. This is all about the chicken tikka masala, and here it is. Our chicken has been marinating now for a couple of hours. We put some pepper cracked on top, and that chicken in the coconut milk. And now we're going to put our pieces in our Dutch oven to start frying. Just going to put a little bit of olive oil. Try and take one piece at a time. Oh, that sizzle is the sizzle you want.
I love sizzling sounds.
Okay, and just keep going around.
Yeah, let's just use my fingers.
You're going to switch to your fingers?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
Let me see.
Serena's just going to get in there. It's going to start spitting up a little bit. Ooh, maybe use the tongs.
It looks so delicious.
Don't crowd your pan. Try and keep it nice and spaced out. Ooh, this is some fire.
This is some sizzle. A little bit on the outside. That's okay.
We'll clean it up.
Cooking Kosher has a saying: the messier, the funner.
The messier, the funner?
Yep. Let's make that a new saying from now on.
We got all our pieces in. I'm going to wash my hands.
It looks so delicious.
Oh, now we're getting some color here. This is exactly what we want. We're going to continue just turning these, getting a nice color. It's going to develop a little bit of a fond here on the pan, and we're going to deglaze that with some onions. A nice caramelized flavor.
I'm so excited to try Indian food.
So this is looking nicely fried. We're going to take this out and move on to the next step. Okay, we emptied our chicken out of the pot. We have it reserved on the side, and now we're going to get in the onion to deglaze the pan.
Oh, I thought it was going to be very sizzly. Wait, is the fire on?
Oh, let's turn it up a little bit. You're right. Here you go, Serena.
No, it's not sizzling. Oh, I love these wedding spoons.
A little bit more olive oil.
It's so good how food is a thing. Imagine the world without food.
Now, Serena, your goal should be to deglaze the pan. You want to get up all of these little bits of chicken on the bottom.
Okay.
So the pan should be nice and
Do
clean.
that on the side.
Yep, on the sides also. Get all that stuff
Ooh,
up.
it's so hot.
Now we're going to take another platter of spices that we've mixed here. We have all of our spices that we spoke about earlier. I'm going to quickly mix them into another curry powder.
I made another one.
And dump that right in with our onions. On the back burner, we have our rice cooking. And at 7:30, we are going to shut that off and let that steam for the last
And it's
few minutes.
7:24, so
And we'll
only
fluff it
few
up.
more minutes.
So now you see these onions are really soaking up the flavor of all those spices, and they're getting nice and yellow and delicious looking. Here, Serena, keep that stirring around.
Trying to deglaze.
As Serena is mixing here, we're going to add in our next ingredient, which is a little bit of tomato product. Here I'm using a little tomato sauce.
Also known as marinara sauce.
Yeah, get that thoroughly mixed in. Also going to add a little bit of tomato paste. Okay.
You don't need to have the tomato paste, but it has a nice flavor.
You're going to use that tomato to really continue deglazing that pan. You shouldn't see any brown bits on the bottom. You really want to scrape. Serena's doing a fantastic job of that. Oh, wow. You see how that pan's getting nice and clean? And you really want to cook out this tomato flavor just a bit so you don't get a raw tomato taste. It'll caramelize. It'll add a lot of flavor to our curry. Oh, wow. That smells good already.
Nice
Stirring
and
here.
smooth.
And a wooden spoon is great for this because you could stir the pan and you don't need to worry about scratching your enamel. Okay, it just hit 7:30. We are going to shut off our back burner and let our rice just sit there, and we'll fluff it up after about 10 minutes. This is ready for our next ingredient, which is our garlic and our ginger. There we go. We're adding in all of our garlic. This is a lot of garlic and ginger, but this is going to flavor our curry beautifully. Mix that in.
How long should the rice sit?
The rice can sit in there for about 10 minutes and then it'll be perfect. But actually you have to be careful because don't take the lid of the rice off because then you'll let all the steam out and it won't become fluffy. So just let it sit, shut the burner, but just let it sit in there and then we'll fluff it up. And basmati rice is the perfect one for this curry. Okay, that garlic and ginger is looking great in there. Now this may look like a long time of stirring the onions, but actually you really need to make sure you cook them because that caramelization of the sugars is really going to add a lot of flavor to this curry. So don't undercook your onions. Let them cook for a good 10 or 15 minutes. This is perfect. Our garlic, our ginger, our tomatoes, our onions are perfectly cooked. Let's add back in our chicken.
Oh, I almost forgot about the chicken.
Here it comes. All that liquid in there with it. Oh, wow, this is looking great. You don't want to overmix your chicken. We've already cooked that chicken, remember? The next thing we need is a little bit of liquid. What do you think we're going to use, Serena?
Water?
It's a good idea, but I got something much better.
Oh, the coconut
First of all, I have the rest of the coconut milk from our marinade.
Coconut milk.
And then we also have a little bit of coconut milk that we saved for this.
That's why it's pretty important to save the coconut milk.
That's right.
That's not a little, that's a lot.
We're going to add that in. Serena, mix that in.
By the way, the coconut milk smells like sugar cookies. This smells amazing.
Now it's looking really good.
Easier to
Now,
make.
Serena, we're going to scrape down the sides just a little bit more. Why don't you get all the sides clean? Just push straight down.
Okay.
And then I'll get the lid and we'll let it go a little bit longer. I'm going to turn down the heat on this just a bit. Serena did a great job scraping down the sides. We're going to put on the lid and let this stew nice and slow for about 10 more minutes. And this chicken tikka masala will be done. See you in 10. There it is, kids.
It looks so good. Here we have chicken tikka masala.
We just transferred our tikka masala out of our Le Creuset and onto this beautiful platter with our basmati rice, which we fluffed beautifully. Kids, this is different than anything you've ever tasted. I know you've eaten a lot of chicken dishes before, but this is going to have a different flavor. So have an open mind, okay?
I'm super excited.
You guys ready to taste it?
I just
So
want
let's
to
take.
take it.
You guys want to take for yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to try the chicken with the rice.
Bring your plate next to it. I sprinkled on a little bit of parsley. Usually the traditional is coriander, but my kids haven't typically liked cilantro or coriander. She takes some rice. Whoa.
That's a lot of rice. This is so exciting. I was waiting for
Okay,
this
and let me take some.
like all day.
You guys have been waiting patiently. It smells like the real thing. When we can't go out to restaurants, we can go out to restaurants in our mind. And tonight, we're going to India. You ready to taste it?
Let's start with water.
You want to start with water?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you make the shahakol on the water, have in mind the chicken and the rice also, okay? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol yeh bidvaro. Oh, that's good. Oh, I was dehydrated.
I need food.
Okay, you guys gonna taste it?
I'm gonna try it. Let's do it all together.
No bracha. We already made the bracha. Have it in mind. Let's
Wait.
taste it. Let's see.
3, 2, 1.
That is so good.
That really tastes like Indian food. How do you guys like it?
It's so good.
Is it like something you've eaten before or it's very different?
I mean,
just changed everything.
Oh wow, that chicken there's almost a sweetness to it. Would you agree? The chicken has like a nice bite to it, but then the onions are caramelized.
This is so good.
It's really good. We are thoroughly enjoying our Indian dinner.
So much.
Remember, during this time, I know it's tough, we're home a lot, but you can go anywhere you want in your mind. You can travel to any country. Tonight we traveled to India to sample Chicken Tikka Masala.
I'm kind of eating with my hands here. It looks a little messy, but Indian tradition.
In India, they do pick it up with their hands. Serena obviously learned that somewhere. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Cooking Kosher. We really hope you join us on the next one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and click that notification bell. And let us know what you'd like us to cook for you next. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
This is the best thing like ever.